Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let me show you exactly how I made this moving train cake. Okay, so for this one I used an 11.5 inches span cake and a 7 inches cake as well. Okay, so here I'm covering the 11.5 inches. I'm going to speed up this process because I've shown how to cover a circle cake with fondant is on my channel. Okay, so I have a complete and detailed tutorial on how to cover a cake with fondant, from the trimming to the crumb coating and to the fondant. Okay, so I'm going to speed up this process. So I've trimmed this cake, done the crumb coat, and here I'm covering with fondant, and at this point I'm trying to get the sharp edges. Okay, like I said before, I have this detailed process already on my channel. I have both for circle cakes and square cakes. Okay, so do well to go back there and watch it. Okay, and while you're there, please click on the like button and drop a comment. Okay, thank you guys, and please, if you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button. It's completely free. All right, so moving on this cake, I'm done with this 11.5 inches. I did this exact thing with the 7 inches. Okay, so I've gotten the sharp edges at the top, and now I'm trying to get the down part as straight as possible. And don't worry, the cake looks slanted in this video. It's not slanted, it's just the angle of the camera. Okay, so here I used a 22 inches square board for this cake, 22 inches square, and I've gone ahead to cover it with white fondant. Okay, so I'm just putting black fondant at the edges of the cake, just plain black fondant at both edges. And here I'm trying to see if I have it correctly. So with this black fondant, now I cut out little white fondant like this, and I'm using it to make the kind of the expressway, main road. Okay, the main road. So just straight black fondant and then strips of white. So I'm trying to show you here how I cut the cake. Make sure your knife is exactly at the center. Okay, make sure your knife is exactly at the center. You can measure to just be sure. All right, so I'm just cutting it into two. This is the 11.5 inches cake. Okay, for this cake I did vanilla and strawberry, so that's what you're seeing inside. So I'm gently moving one cake to a different board so that I can decorate, cover this plain cake part with fondant. So that's our beautiful cake, and I'm going to apply buttercream to this exposed part. So I'm going to put buttercream all over this exposed part before I cover with fondant. There's also a recipe for buttercream on my channel, you can check that out. So after covering the whole part with buttercream, I'm applying fondant, and I'm just going to smooth it out. So yeah, I'll just smooth it out and then cut off the excess. So that's what we have, our covered half. Okay, so I did the same with the other cake. So here I'm placing, the cakes on the board, and I'm using this the train track. I'll show you how I got to this point with the train track, how I coupled it together. Okay, so this is what I did. Just place the two cakes side by side and leaving just enough space for the train to be able to drive through. So next I'm putting the main road on the sides of the cake as well. So I did the same with the other cake, or the other half rather. So what I did here, there's a board underneath, like you just saw. There's a board under, and I covered it with blue fondant first. Okay, I covered it with blue fondant, and then I covered again with black fondant on the sides. But I made the black fondant to just be a bit wider than the board, so that it can cover the full top of this cake. Do you understand? I covered the board first with blue fondant, and then I made a bigger black fondant and just cut it open at the center. Okay, so you can cover the extra parts of the cake. Okay, so before I gum that together, I'm adding my dowel rods to help hold the weight of the 7 inches that's coming on this one, on this cake. So I'm marking where I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to cut it with my dowel rod cutter. Okay, so I'm applying water because I need to gum the next board coming on it. Okay, so I'm placing this back, but I forgot to add the train track at this point, so I'm lifting it up again, and then I'm just adding the track. Right, because once I've sealed it, I won't be able to open it up again. So here I'm trying to see if the train will move, and it's moving just fine. So I'm going to continue. Yeah, okay, so those rough edges, I'm adding mold to it. You can use whatever mold you have. This is the one I have. Okay, so I'm going to put it round the cake just to cover those rough parts. All right, next I just mixed a little bit of black and white fondant, just black and white fondant roughly mixed together, and then I made these tiny beads, but on the cake it serves as rocks. Okay, it looks like rocks, so that's what they are, but that's just a rough mixture of black and white fondant. Then you just mold it into tiny beads like this. So I gummed it to both the front and the back of this cake. That's what it looks like. So here I'm placing the 7 inches on top. Okay, that's our 7 inches. So I made a green colored fondant and then I'm cutting it in this swirly pattern. All right, and this I'm going to place at the base of the 7 inches. So you can apply either water or shortening before you gum this one. So here I can't remember what I used, but I always use either water or shortening. They both work just fine. All right, so at this point, bring I've brought out the pictures I printed quite a lot. The little boy who owns this cake loves cars, trains, fire trucks, so I printed all of that for him, and I'm going to be gumming it on this cake. So I gum with CMC and water, a mixture of CMC and water. So you can just mix a little bit of CMC into like a half cup of water. Use like 1 teaspoon of CMC or a bit less than 1 teaspoon into half cup of water. Mix it together and that will serve as a gum to gum these papers to the cake. Okay. So guys, at this point, if you haven't clicked on the like button, please click on the like button. I know you've learned a thing or two. Just click on the like button. Let me know that you actually enjoyed um this tutorial. Okay, you can also leave a nice comment in the comment section or your question. All right. Okay, so adding the name now. I always like to start with the middle of the name, okay, so as not to make mistake, and in order to get the spacing right, so I first of all put the middle letter before I complete it at the back and then in front. Okay, so I always ensure, it helps me ensure that I get the letters straight and get the spacing right. All right, so I'm done with the bottom part of the cake, and then finally I'm going to do the top. All right, so I bought these little toy cars and I'm going to be adding it round the cake. So I gummed them to the cake with fondant, so I just put a little bit of fondant under the cake, under the cars, okay, to help them gum. So this is our train. I'm going to show you um how to make it move. Okay, so this is the way it comes uh just like this. So you have to open this big one. Among the trains, there's one that's a bit heavier than the rest. That's the one that you're going to put this battery into. So you're going to buy this battery because it doesn't come with the battery. So you buy the battery from from anywhere, and then you put it there, and then you cover the car back. Okay, so make sure it's right on the two sides. Okay, so in order to attach them together, you add these other ones behind it, just hook it. There's a space there for hooking it together. So you place it on the train track, just inside the train track, and then once you click that top part, it's going to move. So I'm changing this one because the trains are green and they're all on the same side, so I'm just changing it up. So once you click this top part, the train is supposed to move. So move it a bit, and then we have our moving train. So what you do, you just turn it off until you're ready to take pictures or videos in order to preserve the battery. But that's how our train cake was made. Okay, so let me show you how I assembled the train. Okay, so that's the packet it comes in, and then it comes, with these complete packs, and some come with 4 trains, some come with 3. Okay, so I think each part of the train has 4 sets. So this is how you assemble them. Just watch what I'm doing here. It's quite easy and self-explanatory. Okay, so you just fix them into each other, alternating the colors. Okay, so that's for the train tracks. That's exactly what it should look like when you're done. So among the cars that come, the trains that come with the pack, there's always a bigger one that has a space for battery. You'll be able to tell because it's a bit heavier than the rest. Okay, so you just put your battery in, and then you just cover it up again. So I'm testing it here to see that the battery actually works. Okay, so I'm going to attach the rest of the trains to this bigger one. So I'm attaching it, and there it's okay. Now I'm placing it on the train track. Okay, and I'm turning it on with the knob just on top of the big train. And there you have it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Okay, I forgot to show this part. This is just green buttercream with grass nozzle. That's what I used to put this grass like effect on the cake. Okay, so just lemon green buttercream, and then that nozzle is just a grass nozzle. Okay, so that's what I used to pipe these things that look like grass around the cake. It added color to the cake, just a bit more color and beauty to the cake. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So please leave a thumbs up on this video, click on the like button if you've learned a thing or two. Thank you.